We go into our resolution path as we set ourselves to achieve the biggest picture of our lives, the promise we make to ourselves, the objective for which our lives are given hope to do something greater each day. We must remember there are two things we will face: the gap ahead of us and the system ahead of us. The gap ahead of us and the system ahead of us will define what our dreams or resolution stands for. It is the point in our lives we will have to decide what side to take. We must not fall. We must not settle ourselves in life for the gap we have to cover up. We must set ourselves in life to be the system that runs the gap ahead of us. Because the system in our lives, the system that we use to redefine our own lives, will become the direction for many people who we give hope to cover up those gaps. To see the world bigger than imagination, to see the world bigger than just the dream you have or the dream we have, is to see that dream has a system that covers every gap ahead of us. We must empower people to stay stronger, to cover the gap that is before them. But we must not set our dreams to cover up gaps. We must build a system that empowers people within those gaps to cover up their own gap in life. Because in every path for our lives, our dreams, to reach its unlimited path, we must focus on building the system that empowers people to cover up their own gaps. Because system is what controls the process of every cycle we move on in life. And the system that our dreams, we set for our dreams, our life, our resolution, is a design for which many are watching to learn from us, to become inspired from us, to wake up to their own gap. Because every promise of our lives, every desire of our lives are all constituted by the system we give our lives, our dream. Because whatever strategy, whatever design, whatever path, whatever plan, whatever tools we use to fulfill our resolution goals, that tools that we develop is a system that many people will look up to find their own path. We must not train our path to cover up gaps. We must not train ourselves to cover up the gap within our society. We must train ourselves, our dreams, our resolution, to create a system that empowers people to cover up their own gaps in life. In order to see the world in our dream beyond one stage of life. And this is our time to create a system of our lives, the system for which our resolution must remain effective rather than surviving. In order for our resolution to remain effective, not surviving. We must create a system for those resolutions of our lives in order to remain relevant within the process of life. We must not cover up gaps for the system that we run. We must empower people within those gaps to cover up their own gaps for the system we design that empowers everyone to become that aspect of their lives. And we all stand a chance to create a system for our lives, for the future, for our community, our future, our family. They look up to us for the system that will rescue their lives, that will heal their path, and that will restore hope for those within those gaps, so that they can stand up to improve, to develop, to redefine their own circumstances within those gaps. And this is the path of true leadership within our resolution and fulfillment. And we all stand to fulfill that aspect of us. And we can. Thank you.